Hello and welcome to Labor Lens. I am Sharon Ijason. On this week's episode of the program, we will be focusing on the issue of casualization of workers in the oil and gas sector. But first, let's take the news.
Staff of the Energy Commission of Nigeria, under the aegis of Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, are calling for the removal of their Director General. Protesting at the Commission headquarters, the staff accused the management of corruption and flagrant indifference to public service regulations. They also alleged that there has been unprecedented retrogression in the execution of the Commission's mandate.
Imagine the clarification that was gotten since 2016 of August. It was in March 2018 that he agreed. So all that while he has been a director for over 5 years in Energy Commission and a DG for almost 5 years now. He finished the 5 years. He don't know the mandate of Energy Commission. He's waiting for DSS to force him to accept that. How can you give that person an appointment? And not only that, the mess in the financial sector, in the finance department, we are calling for Mr. President to send this anti-graft to come and look at our book. Yes. Particularly project accounts, which they made it just like a bazaar account. It's just like your salary account, you can withdraw anything at your wish. Nobody has the right to ask you why.
Staff of the National Emergency Management Agency defied the rain during the week to protest against the redundancy and what they call the failed leadership of the agency. They converged in the emergency bay in Abuja, asking government to probe the administration of its Director General, Mustapha Maitaja, whom they say is incompetent. The feud between the workers and the DG reached a peak with a strike by the workers which began last week.
If you get to our office, from pen to paper, we don't have. Inks to print, we don't have papers and inks to print in the office. You can imagine somebody will come to work from morning till evening. Government is paying us and we don't work. We are not working. NEMA is not underfunded. Government have given us all that is required. But the fact is that our DG doesn't have the capability to manage the place. He doesn't know what it takes to be the head of a disaster management organization. Now, if you talk about disaster management in this era, you require a complete cycle from preparedness to response. But at this point, what we are doing is only relief. You wait for the thing to happen, then you carry relief to the place. The second aspect of it is the issue of welfare. Our staff have been dying in Maiduguri. They are not covered under insurance. We had this issue last year with the minister and our national body. At the end of the day, we agreed after 12 hours to call off the strike. We did. From that time till now, no insurance, more people have died. This is part of our agitation.
Workers of the National Board for Technology Incubation are protesting against the reappointment of Mohammed Jibrin as Director General. They are appealing to President Muhammadu Buhari to rescind his decision to reappoint Jibrin for another 5 years, citing alleged incompetence and corruption.
We want the president to kindly look at us, to please reverse himself. He has the power to do it. The president has the capacity. He was what appointed him. Probably he didn't know of all this thing we appointed him. Now we are telling him he should reverse it. We don't want him here as our DG because he has killed this agency. In short, it's remaining to be buried. Our agency has gone down, no capacity building for the past 4 years, no training, departments are comatose, people are there, no material to work, nothing.
Across 36 states is a deplorable thing. Our centers, most of them do not have toilets to go to. Most of our roofs are leaking. We're talking about engineering workshops. None of them are working. And yet we're calling ourselves technology incubation. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. We have been here for how many years? We have suffered under four years. We've lost this office that we are sitting in because the DG has refused to pay the rent.
companies involved in that. It's more or less like ignorance. But there is no way you put the security organization in the hand of Kasha. It's not a stakeholder. It doesn't have any interest. When you put somebody that's well paid in charge, the survival of that organization will be paramount in his heart. You will see him trying to put his best. Make sure that this company has leave me. This company must not die. But I will keep telling them that it could be these people that are supposed to put as Kasha, they are also human beings. You don't put them under very, very external conditions that it becomes so difficult and everything. And we've been saying it, that let's see what we can do. Because in the oil and gas, our members make sacrifices. We make sacrifices. If you look at it, okay, due to the fluctuating prices or crude oil prices, what can we do? There are some of our benefits that can say, okay, I can put this on hold, suspend this until everything improves. Everybody come, but once we are temporarily doing this thing, you carry everybody on board, open up to them, let them see. Because they also know. And we say, okay, what do we do? Instead of saying, throw us away, instead of having this CBA negotiation, we know we can put this on hold, we can put this SYZ on hold until the situation improves. But just making them crashers. For example, there was one guy that had been a crasher for almost 9 years. And this guy died, and the only thing that could even beg the management to do was to see how they can also provide the coffin, pay the entitlements and everything. And the family, 3-4 months, well, that's nothing. So it's ungodly. But for us, we also scheduled meetings with the NCDMB. Because most of these are prominently in the Nigerian local content. And it's unfortunate that the essence of the local content is that Nigerians should take ownership of the industry. But we find out that Nigerian contractors are the one that are also doing this kind of thing. We know what Pengassin paid when the issue of cash crop was there. And this government came on board and said, okay, what do you do? Over $8 billion were being owed on cash crops. When the crude prices was also 120, 130. But when this government came on board, we also met them. And the essence is that, okay, most of those indigenous contractors who are owing them, start paying them. But some of them like living in affluence, buying jets, buying everything, to the detriment of the people that are doing that, which is ungodly. But we also scheduled a meeting with the NCDMB in conjunction with our Nupen counterparts with the ES, that's Waribote. Let's move together, address this issue holistically, and let's have timelines that going forward for the love of this country, for the improvement of the industry, these are our minimum, our maximum.
It's an embarrassing situation in the country. It's an embarrassing situation in the country because virtually workers have been turned into slaves in their own country. Look, for instance, take the issue of oil and gas industry. The cadre of Nupen have been virtually eliminated in the oil and gas industry. It's not that the work for this cadre is not existing or people are not doing the work, but all these workers have been outsourced. They are working for peanuts. They work for 30 days, 24/7, without holiday, without medical, without anything, apart from the peanuts they take at the end of the month. And when the contract is terminated, they go back home with their last month's pay salary. It's virtually terrible, and you realize that institutions that are supposed to monitor this have gone to sleep. Nopeng has cried and cried and cried, demanding for fairness, demanding that if you are creating job, if you are employing people, let it be decent. Don't subject people to slavery in their own country. But our institutions are just looking sideways. This thing started over 2 decades ago, and gradually, like a cankerworm, it has seeped into every fabric of our industry. I know it's happening in other sectors, but Nopeng, in oil and gas, we are taking the fight and we are taking the step up. Recently, our president attended the AGM of Shell globally. So if we are failing Nigeria, if there are no institutions in Nigeria to address this, we are taking the battle to their global boardroom. We are exposing them, because what have we done in Nigeria to deserve this kind of treatment?
Well, you all are aware of the impunities that have been perpetrated by some of these multinational companies, and the labor has frowned about the issue of casualizations in oil workers, especially in energy sector, which oil and gas, and that also includes the power industries. So is such attitude towards the Nigerian workers that are not accepted to the labor organization, especially the United Labour Congress of Nigeria, where we domicile. So is a very pathetic issue, and it's very pathetic indeed, because Nigerians are being used as slaves. Nigerians are being used as people who doesn't even have any condition of service, and there are laws that have specified that such things must have a joint authorship between the company, the government, and the labor for us to be able to do what? Get what we want. But in this case, you agree with me that these companies does it because either they have the backbones, either from the government or those who brought them to come and invest in such a sector. So, but we are looking at it holistically, especially from the labor angle, and to ensure that such trends stop henceforth. So that is the area we are trying to move. And especially if you are in the ILO conventions, they frown at it. And they have even taken it down to the Nigerian aspect of it. So we are moving ahead with them, and we are trying to make sure that all the labor organizations that are both involved in oil and gas and in energy sectors come together to synergize so that we can fight such an ugly trend. It's not acceptable by any union.